Welcome back. We are the Real Dads of New York. I'm Carlos.
I'm Richard.
As you all know, June is Pride Month. But for us, Pride is not just 1 month, it's 365. So each day we take some pride in ourselves, our journey, and I think we want to elaborate what that looks like on a daily basis.
So we put a portion of our lives on social media, obviously, and one of the reasons we do that is so that we can provide yet another example of Black love and representation of a family, right? Because we know that not every family looks the same, and I think it's time that we continue to normalize same gender-loving parents.
So many times we see a lot of people come out and support us this month, but we have a few things to say about that.
Yeah, and before we start, this is not a rant, we're not angry, we're not critical or criticizing anybody, but I think it's important that we recognize that we have to live this life 365, right? It's not that, we come out like Groundhog's Day at one period of time in the year and we wave our flags proudly and then we say goodbye until next year. We stand in our Black skin every single day as one representation of an LGBTQ plus family. And while we appreciate and we love all the support and all the allyship, it's important that we have the conversation that needs to continue every single day. And so one of the things that, we usually see at this time is big corporations, slap a flag on everything and say, great, we are true supporters. But we don't see that always 365. And, so for us, we celebrate with our community. We celebrate with our allies, but we are consciously and consistently reminded that not everybody accepts us. And that is a hard pill to swallow because we're parents and our son goes to school and we live in a state where they don't want to teach him or his classmates about families that look like ours. And so we have to do the majority of the work, making sure that he understands that there are differences in families, that his family looks different and here's why that is. And so we can't really say that people are true allies if there are limitations on what they're allowed to say, when they're allowed to say it, and how they're allowed to say it.
I think the premise that we're trying to touch on is pretty much, let us start on the job, within our homes, in our churches, to actually not just preach tolerance, but practice it. So that we and our kids who are raised by same-sex couples can feel a little bit more comfortable and not awkward. Because even though they're not necessarily living our truth, they're sharing the feelings that we get or the looks we get when folks with a judgmental eye see us. And some kids might not say something, but others do.
Or their parents are saying something to them behind closed doors, believe that. Right?
So it's necessary for us to not only have a dialogue in June, but to have a dialogue throughout the year. That we practice teaching tolerance, practice teaching acceptance and love and what love looks like, because love comes in different shades, different size, and different mindset. You don't have to necessarily agree with my lifestyle to love me. Love is an action word. So you pretty much have to show me you love me by respecting me in my space and in my truth, and not shun me or think less of me.
One of the things that we talk about a little bit is the differences that we even experience. Because let's face it, you could pass, quote unquote, as straight, right? If you saw you walking down the street, you may not actually think, how you doing?
Unless you have the gaydar.
Unless you have the gaydar. Don't come for me in the comments. Whereas for me, I may not be, I don't conform to everyone's idea of masculinity. And some of the videos that we post, they're meant to be funny. People call me a drama queen. I hope I'm not that dramatic in person. I'm really not. It's a character I started to play. But at the same time, I came out to my mom when I was 10. And we are, no secret, a Jamaican couple. Jamaican if you ask him. Whatever. And so my mother and my family wrapped their arms around me for the most part, my mom in particular, and accepted me for who I am at the early age of 10, because I was encouraged to be vocal about how I felt, what I liked, what I didn't like. She asked questions. I wasn't influenced by media, right?
But I think your mom was more forward thinking than most Jamaican.
She is, and she continues to be. And it's not just about education. People make the assumption that, somehow the more educated you are, the less homophobic you are. The two things are not necessarily mutually exclusive, but at the same time, she benefited from being a worldly individual, and she, made sure that I knew that I was loved regardless. You had a different experience.
But I think those experiences, someone can share with your experience and say that they were accepted in their family.
That's the goal.
And then someone might identify with my struggles back then. We're trying to find acceptance, and whether you were in the church or the synagogue or wherever, the idea of I wasn't sure what I was or how I was until I started to face the mirror and identify how I'm feeling and why am I feeling this way. And then when I was able to say, then let me share with my parent that this is how I'm feeling.
Well, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but I was 10, you were
35.
So even our coming out ages were very
and everybody's path is different, and sometimes our parents might not see you for who you really are, but some parents can identify and says, okay, yeah, he or she is going to be, and I'm going to have to show them that their choices is not important as they are.
But see, I don't like the word choices.
Well, the choices for some people is, they identified as bisexual, like I do. And then there's some who only identified as being gay. So the identity
some
of
folks
oneself.
Don't identify as either.
Yeah, and the identify in factor, which is knowing who you are and being true to yourself, nobody can tell you who to be. You have to figure that out and embrace that for yourself.
The reason why I'm hung up on the word choice is because so many people say to us, why did you choose to be gay? Why did you choose to be bisexual? And it's not a choice, right? Like, I mean, I believe that this is the way that I was intended to be. This is who I am, right? There's nothing wrong with me. I didn't choose this. And most people, like, let's be honest, right? I mean, would someone choose to be persecuted every day? Would somebody choose to have, people look at them weird, it's not a choice, right? Like, we are who we are because it is who we are. It's not because we are making some choice. It's not trending, it's not trendy to be gay or be part of our community. This is just who we are. And I think it's really important that people understand that this is not a choice.
And there is no gay agenda.
And there's no gay, there is no gay agenda, despite the jokes that we might make. But yes, the only agenda we have is to normalize love and to normalize the fact that love is a spectrum and everyone fits and there's no right or wrong way to do it.
Living your truth bold and proud is pride. And, being able to have the space to express yourself, even when others don't necessarily agree or even comfortable, that's not your issue, that's theirs. So at the end of the day, we will encourage everyone that we meet to not only embrace everyone you meet, but show the level of respect and tolerance and maturity the same way you want someone to respect your choices you're making and the way you're living.
But I also would say we don't get a chance to respond to every single comment. And I am guilty of zeroing in on the ones that are kind of negative because my goal is to change that narrative that there's something wrong with us or something somehow predatory about our relationship, especially because of our age gap, or there's something unnatural about two men raising a kid. But we see each and every one of you who leave amazing comments, and the love far outweighs the negativity. And so I need to do a better job of making sure that I acknowledge the folks and our virtual family who take the time to show us so much love. But this journey isn't always easy, right? We've become kind of immune to the looks, the stares, the comments, at least I have. Well, I can't say I'm immune if I'm responding, so I guess I'm not that immune. But I am far more aware and comfortable in who I am.
I know the privilege that we had.
Yes.
And the other thing about Pride is recognizing those who paved the way before we got here to enjoy
Absolutely.
the benefits.
Absolutely.
And even the stories of Stonewall, I think if you don't know it, learn it. Because at the end of the day, there's so many people who are living out boldly and proudly, even when it wasn't popular. Nowadays, everyone wants to be a part of the clique and don't realize that you still need to show or pay homage to those who have paved the way for you to enjoy the benefits of this life now. And there are certain people in other parts of the world who would trade places with you in a minute, but can't because government structures, religion,
family, community
dictates how they can behave or how they can live their life or live their truth. I think it's necessary for us to each one teach one and encourage.
I didn't understand that.
Sorry.
Well, we understand, Alexa, Siri, whoever you have.
You know,
Yes, Google.
it's necessary for us to give love around the world because, again, there's someone living your truth out boldly in America. Someone is
And
trying to
other
live your
places-
truth
in other places
in other
as
places
well.
as well. I know for those who are in a space where they can embrace themselves or love themselves openly, be encouraged that one day things will change. And hopefully you can be the light in that community that is needed.
Yeah.
Because in America, there was a lot of folks, including my cousin, Hey Connie, who played a role in the way we live our life now. You know, so it's necessary to show that love to the past, but also now live your truth boldly and speak tolerance, speak love, even to those who are negative and don't understand your path. Because again, your path is exactly what it means, your path.
Right. So thank you all for continuing to show us love and to be here with us. We love you, we see you, we're grateful for you. And again, our main purpose, our main goal is to continue to represent one facet of love, particularly families that look like ours. So until next time, peace and love. Don't forget to subscribe.
Click that like bell.
Leave a comment. Make sure, not like bell. What's the like bell?
The like, you click like.
But you said bell.
Whatever it is, button.
Click the bell, click like, comment.
Share.
And follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. We're almost at 1 million. Get us to 1 million. But we love you all. And until next time, see you later.